Okay, so what I want to do is I'm looking at your contents here. Now, what you want to double check on is some case issues and some spelling mistakes. So, like for example, here, lowercase f on Friday. Okay, definitely want to watch out for that. Um, if I go to the about page, customer is spelled wrong down here. And then like Daryl King, capital K, Justin, capital J. So there's some case issues that you got to watch out for. Now, reading through this, I think you did a good job of giving us some information. I like the menu. I think we should do a definition list instead of a bullet list. So I'll show you what that is. Again, down over here, side salad, baked potato. I would capitalize the P and the F, and side salad I do the same. I want to make this easier to read because the way you have it right here is just you can't find it. And then again, some spelling mistakes, signatures spelled wrong here, and so forth. One thing I would look at this mission, making sure every customer leaves satisfied. I think if you just tweak this a little bit, our mission today is the same as it's always been, that every guest who chooses Mad Burgers leaves happy. you know and I think that is something that you might want to look at doing, just rewording it a little bit for that purpose. um, so on here, as we take a look here, you're using good judgment with tags. However, when we get down here, you're using a P2, P3. There is no such thing as a P2, so we're going to delete the numbers. There's no such thing as a P3, so we're going to delete that. I'm not sure where you're getting that from. Now there's heading, there's a P, you got P4, there's a headings there, but there is no, there's 6 headings, heading 1 through heading 6, because it changes the size. There's no such things for paragraphs. Paragraphs are simple paragraphs text. So we want to make sure you correct that aspect, besides all the, the other little spelling. Now remember, with H, the headings, you don't have to bold, because whenever you apply a heading, it applies it bold and changes the size. So no need to add the B tag to any of the headings, because it automatically is done. Now down here at the bottom where it says still have questions, that needs to go in your footer element. This should be at the bottom of every page. So I'm going to assume that probably is not the correct over here, so we're going to cut that out. Make sure your home page has that, but again, it should be in the footer of your page itself. Okay, let's just double check. Okay, let's go to the menu. When you have a TH tag, it actually bolds it, just to let you know. So you don't, again, you don't have to bold a table heading, because it bolds it for you. Okay, so I want you to do a definition list instead of a bullet list. So the first thing you need to do is the heading for burgers. I'm going to delete the bold. That's not part of the list. That should be outside the UL tag. Okay, should be right out here. Now what we're going to do is create a definition list. So you have a bullet list, a number list, and a definition list they talk about in the book. Because what you're doing is you're doing like a term, and then you're defining the term. So what you're doing is the term is create your own burger, and then you're defining it. So what we're going to do instead at UL, we're going to do a definition list, which is a DL. Okay, so let me see right here, DL. Now we're going to have to separate this out a little bit, and so what I'm going to do is we're going to do a DT for term. I am going to delete the closing bold tags here. DT. Okay, and put the capital there. Now what we're going to do is the definition is going to be a DD. Okay, so you have DT, that is the term, and then definition, that's right below it. So again, what we'll do here, DT, this out, face this over, okay, DD, oops, cut this out, put this over, again. So you're going to be consistent here, which is good, because I'll make it easier for you to make those changes. Okay, and then DD, okay. Now you would do everything else for the rest. I'm going to go ahead and delete this so I don't have to showcase this. So you want to do everything else the same. Okay, so let me show you what it looks like. Okay, let me refresh this. So what happens is, to see how it indents the term, it makes a lot, compare this to chicken. So see how it makes it easier to read. So now what you would do is, when I come back here, let me capitalize that P, I'm going to go to my CSS sheet. It looks like you have an extra closing bracket here at the bottom. So what I want to do is I'm going to put in a DT tag for definition, and because you're making it bold, you put the B tag in. Use CSS to do it because it really gives you better control. Okay, so watch what happens here when I save, and then I'm going to come back and refresh. See, it bolds it. Now I want to put a little extra space in between the menu. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to my style sheet, and I'm going to go in and add a DD, and then I'm just going to put in margin hyphen bottom, and I'm going to put about either 5 or 10 pixels. We'll do 10 pixels. That might be too much. And that's just going to put space below the definition, so thus we'll create a extra space. See how that works? So I would like to see a definition list done for chicken. Make sure you check your spelling. What I like to do is, before I type in the content, I type it in Word, and it allows me to find the spelling mistakes and all like that, just to let you know. And so you want to do it for chicken. When you do this, you come back over from the menu. Make sure you move the chicken outside of the list. Okay, again, does not have to be the B tag. Okay, same thing for the sides. I wouldn't do an H5, I would keep it H3.